A couple with Down syndrome was told they couldn't be together, but they were happy 25 years before the tragedy. Hello friends, this is an amazing love story between very unusual people. Everyone told them it wouldn't work out, but they proved otherwise. Maryann and Tommy come from the English county of Essex. Guy and girl met each other and immediately fell in love. It would seem that such stories are not uncommon, so what makes it so unique? It's all about the fact that Maryann and Tommy are both people with Down syndrome. A girl and a guy met in a class at a learning center for those with developmental disabilities. That's where a strong couple who had to go through a lot on their way to happiness formed. Maryann and Tommy faced judgment and even cruelty, yet few believed they could live together. People with Down syndrome find it quite difficult to run a household, and such couples are very rare, but loving people were able to overcome all prejudices. They proved that true love knows no obstacles. Maryann was born in 1971 to a caring and understanding family who unconditionally accepted the unusual child. Her mother and sister supported her throughout her life, protecting her from the cruelty of the world. But her father left his wife instantly, so Maryann never considered a man to be part of the family. It was enough for her to communicate with her mother and sister, who loved the kind and responsive girl. Tommy was born on March 21st, 1958. Interestingly, that was the time to celebrate World Down Syndrome Day. Tommy's life was not as joyful as Maryann's. The boy grew up in an orphanage because he was orphaned at age 12. When Tommy and Maryann met, he was already 32 years old. The age difference with his beloved was as much as 13 years. But neither that nor Down syndrome stopped Tommy and Maryann from becoming a real couple. The girl's mother recalled that her daughter was truly happy the day she met her sweetheart. Maryann just glowed and wouldn't stop talking about her new acquaintance. That same day, she invited Tommy over to her house for dinner. The couple began dating immediately. Tommy had no doubt that Maryann was his one and only love. So, a year and a half after the beginning of the relationship, the man decided to propose to her. But it wasn't that simple. We are well aware of the social attitudes toward people with Down syndrome. We should not forget that the story took place in the 1990s. The young couple was subjected to a storm of criticism, and they constantly faced negative and simply inadequate reactions from those around them. It was important for Tommy to get Maryann's mother's approval of her daughter's marriage. She hesitated for a long time, but eventually gave her blessing to the couple. People around them said that Tommy and Maryann couldn't live a day together. The connection seemed simply unacceptable to them, but nothing could be stronger than love. Tommy and Maryann didn't care what anyone else said. They were just happy together. The beautiful marriage took place on July 15, 1995. The event made history because Tommy and Maryann became the first married couple with Down syndrome. The bride wore a dazzling white dress and long veil, while the groom wore a classic suit. Maryann later confessed that it was the happiest day of her life. After the wedding, the newlyweds lived with sister Linda, but 7 years later, they moved into their own house. The woman believes that this was an important step for the unusual family. Tommy and Maryann felt independent. They ran the household together. They could take care of themselves. The fact that they were truly together inspired many people with the same syndrome and also debunked myths about Down syndrome. After all, some people think that with this diagnosis, you just can't find love and be happy. Maryann and Tommy proved by their own example that this was not true. Linda created a social media account where she posted stories from the life of an unusual married couple. Such posts became very popular and were able to restore faith in the possible happiness of relatives of people with Down syndrome. After all, Maryann and Tommy lived full lives, going to movies and restaurants, playing golf, traveling. They showed that happiness for people like them was quite possible. But the idol was shattered in 2014. Tommy was diagnosed with a terrible disease. He was diagnosed with dementia. The man suffered from problems with memory, coordination, and speech. Tommy began to forget his wife, which terrified Maryann. A few years later, the worst happened. The man got pneumonia and passed away from it. Tommy died in 2019 after living with his wife for almost 25 years. Maryann was heartbroken after her husband's death. but she treasures the memories of him madly. They lived happily together for years, even though no one believed in their marriage. Tommy and Maryann's story has inspired thousands of people around the world and restored their faith in true love. Not only can people with Down syndrome have sincere, deep feelings, but they can carry them through life. That's it, friends. Share this story with your family and friends, write comments, and like it. See you soon!